Comparing yourself to other people is like wearing black and brown together. These are three ways to use emotional intelligence to be sophisticated in your own eyes. Right now, you feel like there are things that other people know that you don't know, right? You look at other people and wonder, how is it that you missed it? Like, whatever it is, you think you're behind the eight ball in life. Well, I'm here to tell you, you are not. You feel as if you're unsophisticated or unequipped to participate in conversations about how you manage money or how you participate in relationship, how you keep a man or get him to do what you want him to do. You may ask yourself, what does my life say about me? So because you weren't taught certain things or haven't experienced such certain situations like others have, doesn't mean that you have lost out on life. You may be just haven't obtained a certain level of sophistication in some areas by now, but that's okay. You can't feel insecure about that. When comparing yourself to other friends, you may feel like you should have more motivation to make or save money. I've been there, but they don't know your situation and you don't know theirs. You feel like you have wasted valuable time in your current job or current lifestyle because you're not where you want to be. So what? You haven't gone as many places or shopped at the right stores, or you don't know how to cook in the same way, or your house isn't as organized as theirs are. So what? Comparing yourself to other people is futile work. Everyone is working on themselves in ways that you don't even know about. So keep watching until the end of this video and I will share with you sophisticated tips to help you use and start making a transformation from a person who feels left behind to a person who finds fulfillment and self-satisfaction. I'll show you how to develop new feelings of empowerment and sophistication. It's difficult even for me to stroll on social media and not compare yourself to where it looks like other people are in their lives. People will only let you see what they want you to see, no matter how well you think you know them, right? Online, you only see a moment in time when they look good, when they're in an exciting or a beautiful environment. It's not at home, it's not their real everyday. So you compare their stylized best moments to your real life. And what does it do? It kills your self-esteem, right? You feel like you're doing your life the wrong way, but you're not. I'm going to show you how to position yourself in a place of strength, self-fulfillment, and peace by controlling your emotions. Your emotions impact your thinking, and your thinking influences your behavior. I've said that over and over again. Your behavior creates the environment that you use to compare yourself to someone else, either online or in real life. But it's all a facade. The information I'm sharing with you today will empower you to make changes that you desire for yourself. You feel empowered to only compare yourself to yourself of the past, okay? Not anyone else. So if your life hasn't unfolded like you hoped it would, which no one's has, right? If you've struggled financially, been divorced, lost a loved one, had miscarriages, never been married, or have unfulfilled dreams, then what I'm going to tell you is going to help you get on the track to becoming the person who can do whatever it is that you want to do. So you don't have to worry about what other people are doing. You'll be too busy concentrating on reaching those goals. So the first thing you should do is change your thinking. Once you start identifying the great characteristics about yourself, what other people do or have won't be your focus. Take some time to look back over your life. I mean, it's all about contemplation. You can't just be too busy not to reassess where you are. So you might say, I haven't done anything. I don't have anything of note to report. I really don't have anything to show, but I bet you do. You're still alive, right? You're watching this video because you still want happiness in your life and there are things that you desire, and I'm going to help you become the person who can do that. So yeah, there are things. So the answer that you're looking for is to have more peace, love, family, and self esteem, joy in your life. And you can do that by not coveting somebody else's life. Okay. The answer really is by expressing gratitude. You know what the Mayo Clinic says that gratitude will do for you? Listen, if you don't know about gratitude and never express gratitude, here is more than one reason why you should start today. Expressing gratitude is associated with a host of mental and physical benefits. Studies have shown that feeling thankful can improve sleep, mood, and immunity. Gratitude can decrease depression, anxiety, difficulties with chronic diseases. All you have to do is be thankful. You know, everyone has done something to be proud of and be thankful for. And if you can't think of anything right now, and maybe you can't, let me help you. Let's do this little exercise right here. Let's go back, think back to kindergarten. I know, think back to kindergarten. Do you remember when you got a gold star because you read Nan and Ted did something, caught a ball, right? Or you colored in the lines? That was a moment to be grateful. You accomplished something. You did something that to be recognized. Since that time, you can look back over your life and remember when you played sports well, or helped your grandmother, or raised your children, or were the first one to actually attend college. Those are things to be thankful for and to remember as accomplishments. It may have been a while back, but that's okay. And you might think that it's small, but they are accomplishments and they matter. Okay. So, what I'd like you to do is to write down events, people, and situational outcomes that you're grateful for. Write them down. I use a gratitude journal in my morning routine, and every day I write down 1 to 2 things that I'm grateful for, that I'm thankful for. And over time, I get to write more and more things down that I'm grateful for. And let me tell you this, the more I write, the bigger the things are that I'm thankful for. So it grows as you do it. Okay. So it might feel odd at first, but it could be something so small or certain something so large. Like I've written down that I'm thankful to get the first parking space in the Walmart parking lot. The first one. Yeah, I wrote it down. And I'm thankful for it because we've been having 118-degree weather where I am. And that small thing is something to be thankful for. Okay. I'm thankful, and I've written down, for hearing my daughter give great advice to her friends over the phone. She didn't even know I could hear her. But I am grateful and thankful because I get to recognize that her head is in the right place and I have done some things that I was supposed to do with her, right? And I'm also thankful when my husband goes to the market or goes pick up things that we need in the house without even asking. That's support. Support that I didn't even have to ask for. And that's something to be thankful for. Well, listen, if you want help with writing down things to be thankful for, I have a gratitude journal sheets online. So they are printable sheets that you can download for free. You just go to www.davinadandrige.com and you're able to download that sheet and start having gratitude every day. 1 to 3 things a day will help you get there. So gratitude creates the motivation that you need to build your self-esteem, right? Because when we compare ourselves to other people, it's because we feel inadequate in some place in our life and they seem to be doing well at it. So a lack of gratitude, however, of recognizing things that you're thankful for, it can lead to hopelessness because you are not realizing that you have overcome things, that you have persevered, that you have resilience, that you can do things. If you're hopeless, then you don't see yourself as worthy or see yourself as capable as other people of achieving life-changing goals. Okay? Gratitude helps you to develop your relationship with God. And you know, you can have close friends, even when you're married or have a mate. Those are great relationships when you are like minded and you kind of get each other. But there is no relationship like the one you develop with God, right? because he's going to drop the wisdom that you need. He's going to give you the support, or where you feel inadequate, God fills in those gaps. So you need to build that relationship. And that relationship first starts with you being thankful. Okay. So the way you feel in your current circumstance is not permanent. Developing a deeper relationship with God gives you the opportunity to understand that there is a plan for your life. And the plan for your life is going to be different from the plans of the people you know. Okay? So, gratitude allows you to see how God has blessed you and recognize your own accomplishments. So, your girlfriends, cousins, and co workers are not somehow better or more capable than you are. They are not better or more capable than you are. Okay? They don't factor into how you value yourself. They really don't. They can't factor into how you value yourself. Let's move on to step number 2, and that's addressing the issues of the past. You must stop comparing yourself to other people. By the time we are good and grown, we all have had experiences and incidences and circumstances that impact our emotion. The first thing we think about addressing the past is trauma, of course, because that is what we think about first. It's most significant, most life changing things that happen in our life. That's why I discuss gratitude first, because no matter what you're going through, gratitude will help you get through. Okay. There are certain circumstances that people wear like a badge of honor, meaning that because you have not addressed the emotions associated with your divorce or with your failed or abusive relationships or the lack of accomplishments, you tie events to who you are. They are conditions or events that happened in your life because you have emotional triggers that still show up in your attitude, in your relationships, how you carry yourself, and how you see yourself in relation to the world. That's why you're comparing yourself to other people. More attention should always be paid to the blessings rather than the lack in your life. Once you realize that there is something to be thankful for, no matter the situation, you can better address instances of the past that have caused hurt and pain. There's a lesson to be learned in every situation, in every circumstance, because similar circumstances and situations where you feel the need to protect yourself from the perceived triggers or dangers, that's when you're triggered. That's when you give a triggered response. There is a way to battle triggered responses, and that's by training yourself to become an emotional planner. And I can tell you, when I applied this early in my career, and if you read my book, Brains and Baubles, Do What Works for You, I discuss how I started developing emotional intelligence early in my life. So by the time I was an adult, I had it. I just didn't know what to call it. Okay. But after studying and teaching emotional intelligence, I know what it is now. So one time when I was going through a divorce, my first husband and I had separated. I hadn't had Morgan yet. And my goddaughter was having a birthday party. Now, everyone at this birthday party knew me as part of a couple. So this was one of the first times I was going to an event without my former husband. And, I was kind of feeling some kind of way. So the party was at the home, and my girlfriend has a beautiful home, and she had all her friends and, her professional friends. And at this point, I was working in the family business, but I hadn't really worked on me. I hadn't decided what was going to make me happy and started plans towards doing that. So when I got to the party and I'm sitting there and I'm surrounded by my girlfriend and all of their friends and their children, and maybe they had their husbands there, but they were talking about work and they were talking about making plans to go on vacation and this or that. Well, let me tell you, it started working on my emotions. And at the moment, I didn't know why, but I didn't know, I know I didn't like how I felt. That's the one thing I knew. And I sat there, and before I let my emotions get the best of me, I removed myself from the situation. I said, thank you for inviting me. I left, And when I left, I said to myself, I am never going to feel this way again. I have control of what happens in my life, and I will never feel inadequate. I will never feel less than or unworthy around other people because I have control of what happens in my life. So I avoided a triggered response. A triggered response could have been I could have sat there with a bad attitude and it would have been nobody's fault, right? But I would have had a bad attitude. So, triggered responses don't set your emotions or environments up for the results that you want. So, a good thing to do if you feel yourself beginning to get triggered or beginning to have a triggered response is remove yourself from the situation and people that trigger you or make you feel bad. Doesn't mean that you have to be gone forever, but you need to take the time to get yourself together. That's what you need to do, right? You create a plan to deal with the emotions before you encounter the situations again. Typically, when you compare yourself to other people, it's more about the perceived feeling you would have if you were in their shoes. So you're focusing on what you don't have, right? So you feel less than. You could imagine how you feel with an immaculate house, but right now you barely have time or energy to keep the kitchen and the bathrooms together. You could imagine how you'd feel with a husband and beautifully behaved children, but at the moment, there's a communication issue between you and your husband, and you know you need to give your babies more attention, right? You can imagine how you'd feel with more money in the bank, but at the moment, things are tight and it's harder and harder to save money or the ability to go to dinner 3 times a week or ever go on a vacation, right? Those are things that are feel out of reach right now, but that's only temporary, okay? I'm not devaluing the things that you may have gone through or things that may trigger you from your past. But what I'm telling you is that how long you going to let this happen? How long will you let what happened to you in your past impact your emotions negatively? How long? You're responsible for your happiness. You're responsible for finding ways to address those issues that cause you to be angry, prideful, mean, or mistrusting everybody. Forgive yourself. If you've done something to cause the pain you feel, forgive yourself. If you feel like it's your fault that you wasted time in a relationship that you knew wasn't going anywhere, forgive yourself. Okay? You may say, I've waited so long to do something about addressing my past hurt. Forgive yourself. You're addressing it right now. You follow the steps that I'm telling you, you're addressing it right now. You also have to forgive the other person too. Forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. So don't think your forgiveness is somehow absolving them from the hurt they did to you. Forgiveness is going to allow you to address the emotions of hurt, inadequacy, or neglect that you feel and place them in a space where you're no longer triggered. Addressing your emotions through gratitude and forgiveness or with professional help is building your self worth. You can't just let them go unaddressed, okay? You're able to move past the trauma if you address it and leave more room for opportunities to have more gratitude and joy in your life. So, step number 3 is where you need to take action with a sense of urgency, okay? And step number 3, you create an emotional reset plan. There are things that you know more than other people, okay? You know that, right? There are things that you do better than other people. But my question is, do you know what they are? Think about it. How do you feel when you're doing things that you've mastered over time? You feel good and confident, right? How does it feel when you get compliments on things that you do easily, but other people struggle with it? You feel valued and important. Do you want more feelings of accomplishment, joy, love, satisfaction, and fulfillment? That's something that I want all the time in my life. But lately, if you're feeling more frustration and sadness, then it's time for you to do an emotional reset. An emotional reset is where you put activities in place in your life that positively change your emotions. It's something that you have to work at. It's not just going to happen. Where you are right now, if you haven't done these steps, is what you get for not doing anything. So, I mean, you might not be in the worst place ever, but think about if you actually are intentional with the things that you do in your life and the way that you handle your emotions. Girl, you could do so much. Okay. You must have a daily routine, though. Like I said, you can't just let life happen. You have to make a plan for it. Your morning routine creates positive emotional momentum for the day. And, the morning routine, mine does, consists of the gratitude journal, like I talked about earlier. It consists of prayer. It consists of exercise. It consists of planning, reading, classes, and hanging out with like minded people. You have to draw associations with people who are doing things that you are doing or things that you aspire to do. I mean, your current friend group, your current relatives, the people that you're around all the time now, they may or may not have the same desires that you have, but there are people out there that have those same desires. You need someone to be a confidant. You need someone that you can share ideas with. But if you're sharing ideas with people who aren't doing what you want to do, you're not going to get the feedback that you need. What you're going to get are questions of doubt. What you're going to get is feelings of foolishness because they don't understand and they belittle the ideas that you have. So you need to find a group of like minded people. And that's something that you can do. I mean, you're on social media right now. There are plenty of groups online and people that you can connect to that are doing what you want to do or doing what you are doing. Okay. So the emotional reset allows you to do a self awareness check. You can ask yourself, how am I handling my triggers? You can ask yourself, how do you show up in relationships? And are you where you want to be in life? How do you feel when you get there? How will you feel? Think about it. You have to imagine yourself accomplishing these goals that you want. How will you feel when you actually make it? When you actually write your book? When you actually open your business? How are you going to feel? What does it take to get you where you want to be? You have to investigate and figure out, is this something that you can do? And if it is something that you can do, how are you going to do it? You have to make a plan to do it. It's not just going to happen out of the blue. Then you have to ask yourself, are your behaviors matching the environment that you want to be in? Is it normal for you to feel stressed out and sad? Is that normal? Ah, if you've been feeling stressed out and sad and living your life with unaddressed emotions for years, then your uncomfortableness has become comfortable and normal. Because stressed out and sad aren't feelings that you want on a consistent basis. I want happiness. I want peace and happiness that's going to live to a lifestyle of joy. Okay. And I have that and am having that because I'm planning it and working on it. So the emotional reset is a chance to turn the boat around and start becoming the person that can do the things you've always desired to do. You know, I host a 5-day emotional reset challenge that has helped participants start changing how they handle their emotions. They start addressing behaviors in their lives and put into action steps that transform them from a triggered responder to an emotional planner so they can become the person that can do the things that they've always wanted to do. Yeah, you might want to do some things, but if you have unaddressed emotions and if you fly off the handle and you're triggered and you don't have a way to plan and you don't have a time to think, then how can you do those things that you want to do? You first have to start internal before you can take those external actions. It's not enough to grind and hustle. I don't like the terms grind and hustle because that says to me that you are just working, 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 hoping that something happens. But if you plan it out, If you become the person who does the research, who makes the plan and achieves it, actually takes action, then you're good. But right now, you may be saying, how have I wasted so much time by not setting my life up to look a certain way? And I say to look a certain way because you're only assuming that other people have set their life up that way. All you're seeing is what they allow you to see. So your daily routines impact how well or how soon you feel the change in your emotions, allowing you to make the changes you want in your life. Start your emotional reset by practicing gratitude instead of comparing yourself to other people who are human and fallible. They are not perfect and they don't have it all together. You will find the potential to build self worth. You'll find motivation to overcome life's challenges. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. It's all in your thinking. But you also have to guard your words and get rid of old beliefs that have held you back. You develop a new vision and desire for your future when you reset your emotions. You develop an ability to be vulnerable and work on setting up realistic boundaries, not just these fictitious boundaries that make you feel better in the moment. You start to begin to build support that you need to do new things in your life. By performing the emotional reset, you recognize that your life dreams really are available to you. You get to determine what they are and you get curious about ways to pursue them. I mean, it's all you can think about until you actually start taking action, right? Lastly, you develop skills that will allow you to become a sophisticated communicator and a critical thinker, right? No longer will you take what's given to you by the media or other people as reality. Stop comparing yourself to other people right now, immediately. Don't delay. Do it now. Listen, you can think you know everything about your friends, but you don't. Because do they know everything about you? They shouldn't. They shouldn't. You will become empowered to do and believe what works for you and not what looks good on someone else. Instead of comparing yourself to other people, find someone to use as inspiration, then make a plan to follow their plan. Okay? Good, good. I hope you got that. I hope you took notes. Watch this video again if you need to, but make sure that you don't compare yourself to other people and make sure that you don't mistakenly or out of habit wear black and brown together because they just don't go. Okay. So start taking steps to become the person you want to be today. Learn ways to apply emotional intelligence to your life. Hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss out on sophisticated tips to help you manage your emotions so you can become the person to do the thing you've always wanted to do. All right. I will see you next time. Bye.